Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This one's going to be a bit different. I'm not in the game engine proper, nor am I showcasing any progress on the game, uh, per se, but I do want to show some of the design works behind the game. Uh, kind of the stuff that gets worked on before putting it into the game engine. This will cover the visual design of the characters. That's what this is going to cover. And the first one that I have pulled up here is Mr. Kieran X. So this is the Mario of the game, and I wanted to have him be simple and straightforward, but still have enough of a personality on his own to make him interesting and worth playing. So here we have uh, Lilite as kind of a scale, a measuring stick to see what other human characters are in the game and how Kieran measures up to them. This one obviously is the first iteration of the character. That's what we got in the first demo, but then we switched to this one in the second release. And I'm biased because I really like this one. I really like the look and the feel and the shapes behind it. Um, and down here you can see the exploration of that thought. There's a few iterations here that I tried to keep the hoodie design. I do like this scarf look, and you can see I played around with ideas of sandals, and it is my personal headcanon that he does wear sandals, because I think that's funny. um, so him having his hands in his pockets was pretty consistent. I tried something a bit more dynamic down here, but I just really latched onto the hands in the pockets design. And then I think this was the first one where he was his body was facing away from the opponent, and then I uh, kind of amplified that with this look, and then refined it here, and then added some more details here until we finally got what we got. And yeah, so this is a snapshot into the multiple iterations of Kieran. There's not too much more to talk about, so I'll move on. Here is Minsk, a lot of the first iterations of Minsk, and as you can see, there is a variety of thoughts here. Again, we have Kieran and Runky in the background for scale, making sure that everything is uh, in keeping with the size of things. Uh, so my first thought was a desert wanderer to with cactus antlers or cactus horns, and I do like that idea. You can see a bit of a mummy motif here. I actually ripped this off of Snarrow from Ben 10. He has that similar zigzag wrapped design, and I like it. Uh, I really like this swooped uh, angle or square shape. Uh, I think it stands pretty strong, and with that triangle in the middle, it has a nice A frame silhouette to it, and I like that. I then went in the complete opposite direction and made this like pharaoh hunchback creature. It didn't really work. I tried going for a more vampire design with him busting out of a sarcophagus. Didn't really like that. Went back to the Wanderer, uh, added a little flower, and then I just hard leaned into the mummy And these two iterations, and in fact, some of these, went into like a mummy angel character. I added a bell for some reason. For some reason, this character, I really wanted the bell. I really wanted the bell. I don't know why. And I hard leaned into that with this, making him just a bell tower, mummy in a bell tower. Uh, and then went back to the angel design, and then tried some shapes. It just didn't work out well, and then we eventually got what we got, which is just kind of a decrepit mummy character, which I'm happy with. But I think Mensk is the one character that I feel is the least interesting, which is a shame because all of this work, pretty much for nothing. um, this is this is a character that I was going to add, but uh, due to the request of the individual it was based on, I removed him. But he was like this interstellar um, star captain robot guy, and I liked the idea of having this star in a fishbowl type of helmet and leaning into a 40s aesthetic sci-fi like pulp magazine robot design. And some of these you can see, some of them not really. I'm not a fan of this one. That one's kind of garbage. This one's kind of garbage too. This one, yikes. Um, this one I do like. I really like the circle on this like square wedge. I really like that look. And then having the squashed head, I think is really good. If I didn't settle on this one, this was gonna be the one. This one's bad. I don't like that. This one's kind of worse. I tried here. You can see I tried to mesh this idea and that idea to get that monstrosity. Some of these you can kind of see like I was starting to get fed up with it, where I didn't even bother drawing actual hands. Um, because the thought going into some of these designs is I have to draw this guy over and over and over again, and from different angles and different poses. How easy are them to Are they to pose? How simple are the shapes? Do I enjoy drawing them? You know, all those uh, questions come to mind and do play a part in the design process. Uh, I I like this guy. I like his stance. He's very kind of straight laced up here, but then has these curved legs at the bottom with triangle feet. I like the triangle feet. I also like these claws, kind of lobster claws. This whole assembly on the collar doesn't make a lot of sense, but it helps give shape, so whatever. You can see here that instead of a full-on bowl like we have over here, it's more of a embedded dome, which I think works a lot better than just a full circle. And you can see that idea explored here in greater detail. But yeah, that unfortunately this character will not be making it into the game, but I'm glad I took the time to design it. Moving on, I'll go down here to some of these early designs of Sharptooth. Uh, this one, that one's not very good. I wanted Sharptooth to have a little coin that he would flip, uh, and that's what these hand things are. Um, but it was hard to get a readability on it, and it was hard to get the rest of the shapes to follow. I do like this like big curve, hunched look, but that tail just seems a little tacked on. so not a fan of that. Um, I wanted the coin and I wanted the hat. I like the hat, but putting a hat on a shark is kind of weird. I also would like to have the fin in the back because that would give the reading that yeah, this is a shark. Um, and so we got this design, which I really like. It that scarred eye kind of gives James Bond vibes, and I like the bat ears. I like them in this look. And because I enjoyed this one, I just scaled it down to the proper size and moved on for that. Now this character, the the steampunk uh, snake character. This is a snake in a mech suit, uh, and I did have a lot of fun designing some of these mech suits. I like this one, just the big tube in front with the legs out and back. I I just think that's a pretty strong look. Here's where treads start coming into the picture. Uh, a lot of various ideas, and then and then we got to the tank, and then eventually the question was asked, what if the snake lives in the tank? That's where we got the house, and then some different variations on that. And this was going to be the. I gave a rule for myself that each character needs a different aesthetic. And so Runky is like military wrestler. Kieran is like cool, chill older brother. Uh, we have Frog being a samurai, uh, Sharptooth being a gangster vampire. And this was going to be like a homestead steampunk character. But I gave the steampunk character to Russell, and so uh, I didn't go with this one. That being said, this this house would have been a pain to animate because Russell is a pain to animate. He's so annoying to draw. But it's cool, and I'm willing to bite the bullet and go through the headache of animating all these little details for the cool factor. I then explored with some steam like robot snake ideas, and eventually we came to like Victorian dress. That's just a clown snake, and then eventually I got to like this musketeer snake character. That's where we get this character who will be showing up later in the game. Spoilers, by the way, but this is the one of the new characters. Uh, she doesn't look like this. There's going to be alterations, but the princess snake musketeer is going to be one of the playable characters. Spoilers, I know. And here, here's the cuckoo clock bird coming out of the snake's mouth, and I just translated that to Russell's cuckoo clock bird out of the hat. So a lot of different ideas there. Here's Russell. Uh, there were a few ideas. There was like a sci-fi rabbit for a time, kind of a mystical rabbit, uh, until I settled on uh, the steampunk idea. And yeah, I like it. It's pretty good. Here are some other character designs that won't be making it into the game. Uh, there was like a raccoon with a shield design that I I do really like. I like the raccoon with the shield. And if I if it didn't take so long and didn't take so much thought, I would want this character in the game. But holy cow, it takes so long to make these things, and it hurts my wrist. So I'm not going to add that character. Uh, this was another one with a lot of different ideas. I don't have a name for this character yet, but this is going to be one of the playable characters. And in fact, that's what they're going to look like. Spoilers. But that's why you watch these things, right? To get the sweet sweet details. The design aspect for this uh, was like uh, Mad Max, Fallout, Desperado, uh, folk hero, bug creature. I was playing quite a bit of Hollow Knight, and so that's how we got the this look, because I was playing a lot of Hollow Knight. But you can see some experimentation with these. This design has a bit more like not nobility, but put togetherness. It's not as rugged as something like this. Um, and I think that's cool. It gives like blacksmith mechanic vibes, which I think would work well. And it gives a whole host of ideas of like, oh, what does this character make? Do they spawn a giant truck to run over someone? That would be cool. Maybe I can do that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Uh, I wanted to just showcase some of these design works to give further insight into what this game is and what it has gone through, and kind of my thoughts as a creator going these uh, into these design uh, projects. So sorry, no gameplay today, but I just wanted to share that since these are developer logs and this is part of development. So thanks for watching.